everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the Chit Chat series. So in this video I will be talking about the men that I've dated in my life that were really bad, and oh my god, these stories are fucking terrible, but hey, you live and you learn, right? So before we get into this video, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below to keep up with this channel. And now let's get on with the video. Alright guys, where do I begin? Disclosure, guys, disclosure. I will not be mentioning any names whatsoever, even though I'm shady and I would. But I'm not going to, just because, you know, some of them are still in my life. Or I know them, so there's no names being mentioned whatsoever, but you guys know who you are. So to start it off, I started dating at the age of 13. I started officially dating at the age of 13, and my first real big relationship was with the guy in the previous chit chat video, who we are no longer friends anymore. And I cheated on him with a guy who I was dating before that, but again, I don't consider that to be much of a relationship, because I consider the first love being your first real big relationship. I honestly believe that, like, whoever you had before that, it was like whatever, but that for me was my real first big relationship. I was stupid and I cheated on him with that guy. But that guy, he was Peruvian and he was a piece of shit. This guy, I was dating him and he only wanted me for one thing and one thing only, and that ended up being to where he ended up falling for me. And when you're in that age, you don't know, like, your hormone levels and your emotions are so heightened that you don't know how to be and how to, you don't know yourself whatsoever, and you think that you do, but you don't. And so this guy ended up basically like treating me like a piece of shit. He cheated on me. He cheated on me with with one of my best friends now. I love her to death, but he ended up trying to fuck around with her and told her that she wasn't in a relationship when he really was with me. And I kind of found out, but I never went further into actually fighting the girl. I wanted to, like, don't get me wrong, I was like, oh, you want to fucking come and try to fuck up my relationship and try to take my man. But when I tell you that I was so mature for my age, that I even hit her up and was like, hey, listen, what's the real story? Like, I knew that there was, I'd rather get the source from her than to believe him, because at the end of the day, he's the one who cheated and he's the one who was hiding all this stuff. And comes to find out that he was telling her all this shit. She actually lost it to him. And yeah, I ended up leaving that relationship to be with my first love. As I grew up, I ended up seeing and dating people that were just like only into looks. Like, there wasn't, like, it's crazy when you grow up. And because, like, back then, like, technology was just getting up there. Like, there was MySpace, there was well, MySpace was like one of the biggest platforms at that time. So, like, I met so many people through freaking MySpace. There was guys that I met that were fucking fire ass guys. And those relationships those were like shit. Like, majority of those guys they did anything and everything just to sleep with you. Anything and everything. And then once they had it, that was it. Like, it was like, okay, bye, on to the next one, you know. Like, it was crazy. But to speak into going into my adult life, my ex of 3 to 4 years from my 16, like being with him from 16 to 19, like, that relationship was really toxic. he was one of those guys that was I wouldn't say, I can't speak for it now, never wanted to play the bad guy. Like, he was trying to always play the victim in everything that he did. And I caught him multiple times cheating. That was a really bad relationship. And so every time like that, like our relationship kept breaking up, like I will admit, like back then I was like, I'm not doing nothing, but deep down I was like, okay, I want to talk to this guy, I want to see this guy. So when me and my ex had broke up with him one time, there was a guy that I had met through the girl who I became best friends with. She introduced me to this guy, and he was very much my type. Like, I'm very much into light-skinned guys. I love light-skinned guys. I love Spanish men. Don't get me wrong, like I'm a person that doesn't really discriminate, like to each their own, but I have my own sense of taste of men who I like, and I really love Spanish men, and so, well, Latin men. And so he's Ecuadorian and Dominican, and he was very like light skin, like white, but with bluish green eyes. Oh my god, gorgeous. And I saw him and he was playing baseball, and I was like, who's this guy? I ended up dating him for a little bit, and in the timing of me and him dating, like he was one, when I tell you, like a piece, like I'm cool with him now, but he knows this, like he was a piece of shit. And so when, you know, me and him were dating, like this was like the straw for me. Like, he was really nice to me. Like, he was like, there were moments where he would like sometimes like, you know, get me food and we would hang out. Like, it was really fun. We would like go chill. Like, I used to go watch him play his games. Like, it was cute, you know, for like our being a 17, 18-year-old, you know. He was such an asshole. Like, there was one time we had went to, and this was where the, like, I was done. There was one time that we had went to, we went upstate to one of his friend's house, and his friend that lived up there, he actually drove us down there, and it was all cool. Like, we were having a good time, but again, he was just an asshole to me throughout that whole time that we were there. And then on our way back, this is where I was like, I'm done. I'm a person who likes to play fight. I'm not gonna lie, I love play fighting. And we had that bond, like we were just always play fighting. But he was one of those guys, at least in that time, where it was like, he was like a little bitch, bro. Like, everything that if you did something to offend him, forget about it. He was like, he threw a tantrum almost. Like, he had an attitude. He wouldn't want to talk to you. Oh god, it was just so bad. We were on our way back play fighting, and he tapped me in my face, like play fighting, like not hard, but he hit me in my face. I'm not the one to touch your face, but the moment that you do, don't act like I'm not gonna hit you. So he ended up, like, he did that to me, and so I did it back. I did it very lightly, and he was that was like a 360. He's like, why did you touch my face? I don't like no one touching my face. I was like, are you serious? I was like, you just fucking hit me. He's like, okay, and I was like, what? Like, are you fucking kidding me? When we got back, like, we got in his car, like where we had dropped off the car, and he literally stopped me at the train station and was like, all right, I'll see you later. And I was like, so you're not gonna take me home? Mind you, like, we're not even that far from each other. Like, we're a good 15 minutes away from each other, and this nigga didn't even want to take me home because of the fact that I slapped him in his face. And he's like, oh well, I told you not to hit me in my face, and you did. And I was like, but you did it first. I was like, this is the problem. Like, and this is the problem with a lot of people in general. Like, people, they could do whatever they want to you, but the moment that you do something to them, forget about it. It's like the end of the fucking world for them. And he was like that. And this motherfucker dead ass, and thank god that I had money to get home, because if not, I had to have walked all that way home. He dead ass left me in the train station for me to go home. Until this day, he knows that he was wrong for that. But he's one of the people on the list who was a piece of shit and one of the worst people I dated. Come next, one of my guy friends had introduced me to his friends, and this kid was in the closet. I saw him. He was a really cute guy, and sometimes the most attractive looking men sometimes are the most gay ones. And so he was really cute or whatever, and my brother always had a feeling, always had like that vibe when someone may be gay. and I kind of grew that instinct within time. But for him, it was like he kind of pinpointed it. And my brother, I don't think he ever told me, but I kind of noticed it when there was one time where I had went to his house and we were alone. Obviously, like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get it on, you know? And we were making out and nothing happened. Like, nothing happened. Like, he just instantly stopped, and I looked at him and I was like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I'm a pretty fucking girl, and I know I have a really nice body, and you just gonna stop? Like, you just ain't gonna get on this? Like, I don't understand. And that was one where I was like, okay, we're done. Like, that's fucking terrible. Then I ended up dating some guy who was, we dated for about like a couple months, and he was a complete asshole. Like, to the point that he tried to talk. Not that he tried, he succeeded. He ended up fucking one of my friends. Like, he got with me, he was all into me, and he got with me to get to one of my friends. That's another one. And when I had approached him about it, he was like at first he was like, no, I swear I didn't do anything, it wasn't like that. And I'm just like, but I have the proof here, like, this is what you did. And he was like, he kept going on and on. Again, like, this is that naive part. Like, I was just like, okay, whatever. I basically kind of forgave, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna let it go. It was like a one-time thing. Again, me being naive. And then he did it again, not with the same girl, but with a different girl that I knew. And at this point, I'm like, okay, no, now I'm done. Like, this is not fucking happening. You're gonna continue trying to fuck around with me just so you can get to every single one of my friends. And there are a lot of guys out there like that are just like, it's like, you really do this? Like, and there's even friends, like guy friends that literally like make relationships with girls in the sense of friendships just so they can get to the two more girls, and just to follow them and just to talk to them, talk to even all of them, and acting like it ain't even like what they're doing is nothing fucking wrong. I ended up meeting some guy from the Bronx. He was Puerto Rican and Italian, and he was a little thick boy, and I don't have a problem with guys being thick. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not attracted to, you know, men with bigger stature, but I do, you know, I don't mind them a little chunky. He was really cute. He was, oh my god, he was so cute. But he was another one that was awkwardly shy. So like, we would, you know, hang out, we would have our moments, we had fun together. But when it came down to us getting it going, he wouldn't proceed further. And I would be like, in my head, I'm like, why am I dating these guys that, you know, show so much interest in me, and then when something happens, it's just like when it gets down to it, it's like, you ain't even attempting. Like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I doing something? Like, is there something here? Like, I don't understand. Like, you kind of got a little bit of everything going on. Like, I'm not ugly. Like, I do have boobs, I have legs, I have an ass, and you just not. There was one time where, oh, I feel like Beyonce, the wind is just blowing. Yes. There was one time where we were gonna get it, we were, you know, getting down, and we were in the bathroom, and he put me against the sink, and he didn't do anything. Like, he literally took off my pants, and just nothing happened. And I was like, and I remember telling him, I was like, are you okay? And he was like, what do you mean? And I'm just like, I mean, you know, because mind you, like, we were like talking for like, I would say like a good 2-3 months, but you know, that's as far that it's ever gone. And at least to like having some type of foreplay. And then when it came down to it, like, it just wouldn't happen. So for me, it's like, again, I was very mature for my age, but it's just like, what's happening here? Like, nothing is like, what's going on? He told me, he was like, no, it's just like, you're really pretty and I'm super shy and blah blah. And it's not like he wasn't like formed well, you know, down there. You know, he was was pretty built, but it was just like, okay, so then why are you shy though? But it never went further than that, and I was just like, okay, like in those moments I'm like, okay, honey, like I'm not again, I don't want to sound like a little puta, but it's like, you're not giving me much to go forward here. Like granted, like I don't mind the romance. Like if you don't want to have sex with me within the first month and stuff like that, like it's cool. Like I would appreciate that because it shows that you're interested in me and more in getting to know me instead of fucking me. But you're not, like, it's 3 months in and you still haven't done anything. Another guy who would just be all on my social media feed, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll get to know you, I'll meet you. And then when I met him, he just wasn't really talking. Like it was super awkward, and I'm just like, again, it goes down to like, what is it about me that's attracting these awkward ass men? Like, and he ended up telling me one time, like, it's just because like I never thought that you would be interested in me. And again, like, I've never been the one to be more about how you look. Like again, if you attract me by your personality and I like you, it's like that's enough for me. Like you can be, or I've dated ugly ass guys, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've dated guys who were hit, but I liked them for what was in here, not from what was out here. And so he was cute enough for me. Like I didn't mind it. Like I didn't care if anybody else didn't find him cute, as long as I found him cute. And it's same thing. Like it's just, he was just like, oh, you know, I never thought that you would date me, and I didn't think that you would be that interested. And I'm like, well, I'm here. Start talking, start making conversation, because you're not gonna get anywhere further than me, and this will probably be the last time, which it was the first and the only time that I ever. And then even on social media, like he would hit me up and try to talk to me, and I'm just like, nah, like you had your opportunity and you missed out. And now in my adult life, I'm still talking to my boo for like 5 years, but in the same thing, like the same context, like there's just guys out there that literally are doing the same thing. It's just like, you guys do not, like, men don't mature. When I tell you men do not mature, they don't mature. Some men will be like, yeah, I'm like this and I'm like that, but then at the same time it's like, you're still the same nigga that I met along my past time. Like you guys are still the same way. I'm not interested in that life anymore. Like granted, like there are men out there that'd be like, damn, like, yo, he's not good. Like I would want to sit on his face. Like he can catch it, like he can take it, you know? But I'm 20, I'm turning 25 this year, man, and I don't have time to be playing games. I got time to be making this money and making sure that I have a roof over my head, and to be traveling and doing shit like that with somebody, not somebody who wants to just be coming and going. Like it's not my thing. But I hope this story was entertaining enough for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any weird stories, please leave it in the comment section below so we can fucking talk about it and we can laugh our asses off. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in my next video.